Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sachin Hissaria, and in this video we will be discussing about very interesting topic which is Rule 11G Audit Trail. So this video is for all the chartered accountants who are doing the statutory audit. Now, as per new Rule 11G, every statutory auditor needs to comment whether organization is maintaining the proper audit trail or not. Okay. So in this video, I will be telling you about the Rule 11G. Okay, what is an implication of Rule 11G, how it has been made applicable to the company. We will be giving you some real life example that how to audit this particular Rule 11G. Okay. And we will be also discussing, as per this rule, what is the responsibility of auditor, what is the responsibility of the management, and suppose if you are an auditor, what are the points you need to verify. So we'll be discussing about everything. So without wasting a time, let's start our video. So our first point is a summary of Rule 11G. So basically, I will tell you how this rule has been introduced. So now, as per Companies Act Section 143, okay, auditor needs to comment on some other matter which are prescribed as per the Rule 11. Okay, so basically, if you are a statutory auditor, you need to comment on some other matter. Now, similarly, Ministry of Corporate Affairs have released one notifications on March 24, 2021. And as per this notification, all the company need to use the accounting software which has a functionality of audit trail. And they need to maintain a edit log. So for example, suppose if somebody doing any changes into the accounting software, the log should be there for those changes as well. So this is a new notification which is issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs on 24th March 2021. And when this first notification was issued, at that time the provision was made applicable from 1st April 2021. As you can see, it was made applicable from first day of April 2021. After this, they have issued two more notification where they have extended the requirement. Okay. Initially, they said that it would become applicable from 1st April 2022, and then they have further deferred the same, and now they are saying that now it is applicable from 1st April 2023. Now, whosoever is a company who would be filing the financial statement for 23-24, so statutory auditor need to comment on the Rule 11G. Now, in order to audit this 11G, our Institute of Chartered Accountants of India have issued one guidance note. Okay. So this guidance note, first they have issued in the month of March 2023, and then they have issued this in January 2024. So I have that copy also available with me. So this is the latest implementation guideline issued by the ICI. What I will do is, guys, I will be uploading all this notifications as well as guidance note on the Google Drive, and I will provide you that link in the comment section. Okay. So this is how the Rule 11G have been introduced. Now, whatever we will be discussing about the guidance note only, because this is a detailed guidance which will tell you what to audit and how to audit. So we'll discuss about this only. And one more thing I want to tell you is that this Rule 11G is applicable for everyone, whether you are a bank, whether you are NBFC, irrespective of that. If you are incorporated under the Companies Act 2013, then you need to comply with Rule 11G. Okay, there is no exemption for banks, NBFC, or for example, suppose if you are saying that I am a small organization, it doesn't matter whether you are a small organization, big organization, whether you are bank or NBFC, everybody need to comply with the Rule 11G. Now, as per Rule 11G, what is the responsibility of the management? So in Rule 11J, guys, it is very clearly mentioned that management is primarily responsible for what? For using the accounting software that have a audit trail feature. So whenever they are using any software, management need to ensure that that accounting software should have a audit trail functionality. Management need to ensure that audit trail is not disabled. Basically, I will show you the exact word of this guideline. Okay, exact word of the rule 11G, where it is very specifically mentioned that your software should not have a functionality to disable the audit trail. As you can read here, okay. Now, what is written here that provided that financial year commencing from this date, every company which uses accounting software for maintain its books of accounts shall use only accounting software which has a feature of recording audit trail for each and every transaction. Create an edit log for changes made into the books of account with the date when the changes were made, and ensuring that audit trail cannot be disabled. As you can see this last particular last line, where it is very clearly mentioned that your accounting software should not have a feature to disable the audit trail. Okay. So now they have assigned this particular responsibility to the management, that management is responsible for identifications of such software. Okay. And hosting of software can be in India, outside India, and either it can be on-prem, on cloud, or software as a service. Okay. So this is the responsibility of management. Now here, first management will identify what are the applications which are there in the company which will constitute as a books of account. Now, generally what will happen, guys, in the organizations, they are using multiple applications. For example, there are some application in which you are managing your vendor master, correct? There are some application in which you are doing a payroll processing. Okay. There are some application in which you are doing sales recording. Okay. So now management need to identify which application will constitute books of account. Why I'm telling you this particular thing is because this section, like the rule 11G, is applicable only for the applications which are used for the purpose of accounting. So organization need to comply with rule 11G, and this compliance requirement is applicable only for the software which are being used for the purpose of preparing the financial statement. So this responsibility of identification, so this responsibility is also being assigned to the management, that you need to identify. Okay, as an auditor, obviously you need to understand the rationale behind it. I will show you that particular line as well, where it is written that as an auditor, we need to check how management have identified what applications will be there in the scope. Okay. So as a part of audit approach, auditor would need to ensure that management assumes the primary responsibility. Okay. So management need to understand this responsibility. Accordingly, they need to identify what applications would be covered in the scope. Okay. So management will identify. Then as an auditor, we will evaluate. Now, this is the point in respect of identification of relevant transaction. In context of maintenance of books of account, auditor may consider performing a following procedures. So we can perform our audit procedure that how management have identified, okay, what transactions or what applications would be the part of rule 11G. So that approach we need to validate. Okay, guys, this is about the management responsibility. Now, as per this section or as per this rule, organization need to preserve the audit trail. Now, what is the retention period? In the circular, it is very clearly mentioned that you need to preserve the audit trail for 8 years. Okay. And this will be applicable from the 1st April 2023 and onwards. So, for example, if you are doing an audit for this particular financial year, we need to make sure that whatever audit trails are there, those audit trails will be retained for how much year? It needs to be retained for 8 years. And this 8 years requirement is starting from which date? 1st April 2023. So as on date, we will not go and we will not verify the logs from first as on date. We will verify the logs from 1st April 2023. Okay, and we will not verify the logs before April 2023. Like, you cannot ask auditee that show me whether audit trail was maintained for 2022 or 2023 or not. We cannot ask, because this requirement is applicable from this date. So from this date onwards, you need to maintain an audit trail, and the retention period would be 8 years. Okay, guys. Now we will be discussing the main concept part here, that as an auditor, what you need to check. Okay. So first, you need to ensure that whatever software that they are using, that software should have a audit trail feature. In this particular video itself, I will be giving you a demo of Tally software, that after this rule 11G, how Tally have made changes into their software. Correct. So I will be showing you that live example. So as an auditor, we need to ensure whatever software they are using for the purpose of preparation of books of accounts, whether that software has an audit trail feature or not. We need to make sure that changes to every transaction. Okay. So we need to make sure two things, guys. So in this particular rule, regulator have specifically asked us that whatever edit you are doing, okay, for those edit should also, for that edit also, logs should be there. Okay. And whatever original transactions you are passing, for the original transactions also log needs to be there. Okay. Log needs to be there for the original transactions, as well as log needs to be there for the edit transactions. Okay. So as when you are checking the log, you need to check whether log is capturing these three details or not. When the changes are made, who have made the changes, and what data have been changed. So log needs to include minimum this three field when the changes are made. So basically this is a date and time. Who have made those changes? So this is related to the user ID, from which user ID the changes are done, and what data have been changed, whether you have changed in the amount, whether you have done changes in the narration, whether you have changed in the date, whether you have changed in the party name, ledger name, whatever. Okay. So those changes should be captured in the audit trail. Now point number 3, ensure that audit trail feature is always enabled. And if there are some changes which are done at a backend level, then we need to make sure that our database should also capturing those logs. Now guys, now in this particular thing, there is some ambiguity. Okay. What is the requirement here? Ensure that audit trail feature is always enabled and not disabled. Okay. On the one side, they are saying that audit trail feature is always enabled. On the other side, when we were discussing about the management responsibility, it was very clearly mentioned that audit trail cannot be disabled. Your software, whatever software you are using, that software should not have any feature to disable the audit trail. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now, in a real life, guys, you will see that most of the ERP applications or most of the accounting applications which companies are using, that application have a feature where you can disable and whether you can enable the log. For example, if I talk about SAP application, in SAP application also there is a feature where organizations basis on their need can identify that which transaction needs to be logged, which T code needs to be logged, which table needs to be logged, so that they can customize as per their need. Correct? SM19, SM20 tables are there. For this, I will be making a separate video that in SAP application, how you can enable or disable the log. But what I am trying to tell you here is, most of the ERP applications which are there in the market, those ERP applications have the feature where organization can enable and disable the log. Okay, they can do that. But I also want to tell you about the Tally. So guys, when this notification came, Tally have immediately given us a new version, the upgraded version. And this upgraded version is in compliance with the new guideline, because now in Tally, you cannot disable the audit trail. The previous version, which was there in the Tally, in that you can disable the audit trail. Okay. But now in the new version, which they have released after the MCA's audit trail requirement, they have released a new version. Okay. And this version was released on 21st March 2022, where they have disabled the audit trail feature. Like nobody can disable the audit trail. So they have introduced this feature in the Tally Prime edit log. So this is a new version. So what I'm trying to tell you is Tally have updated their software as per the requirement. But till now, SAP, Oracle, though this software have not given any update. Okay, in this software you can enable and disable the log. This is what I want to tell you here. Okay, so basically now what you need to do as an auditor, for example, suppose if organization is using an SAP application, in SAP application the feature is there. Now I will tell you what you need to do as an auditor in this scenario. I would suggest you ask organizations who has a right to disable the audit log. Correct? Generally, this right is restricted with only admin. Only admin can do these changes. So you ask that them who has a right to disable the audit trail, and then you check the admin user activity log admin user activity log for your audit period, whether in the audit period admin have disabled any logs or okay. So basically with this, maybe you can give the assertions, maybe you can give the comfort that audit trail feature is always enabled and not disabled, because this is the only way to check this particular aspect. Okay guys, so this is point number 3. Point number 4, where as an auditor, we need to ensure that audit trail is appropriately protected from any modifications. So as an auditor, we need to ask again here, who have a right to delete the audit trail, who have a right to edit the log. Generally, this right should not be given to any person. Okay. In the audit trail, edit log rights. Nobody should have a right to edit the log. Otherwise, your logs can be tampered. Okay. So basically here as an auditor, we will ask a company during the walkthrough that how you are ensuring that your audit trails are not modified by any person. Correct. So we will understand that during the walkthrough of an application. Then the next requirement is we need to ensure that audit trail is retained as per the statutory requirement. So obviously this we have discussed earlier as well, that audit trail log or audit trail need to be retained for the minimum period of 8 years, and this requirement is applicable from 1st April 2023. Okay. Now next control here is what we need to ensure that control over the maintenance and monitoring of audit trail, and its features are designed and operating effectively throughout the period of reporting. So now here as an auditor, we need to ensure whether organizations are doing the monitoring of audit trail or not. Okay, whatever audit trails which are generated from the transactions, whether organizations have a mechanism to review those audit trail or not. For example, now whatever activity performed by the admin, okay, we will be checking whether somebody is reviewing those activity or not. Okay, when you are doing this control verification, you also need to ensure that whatever person who is doing the changes, all those changes needs to be performed from a individual's user ID and not the generic or shared user ID. So guys, if I talk about user ID. So there are two type of users. Okay, one is a normal user, or which is called as a individual user account, individual user. For example, there is one username and username is like Sachin123. So this is an individual ID from which you can verify that okay, Sachin is the owner of this ID, correct? And there is, in some cases, you will see some generic accounts are there. Generic accounts are there. For example, system123. Now, system123 is what? This is a generic account, correct? Now, from this user ID, you cannot identify whether Sachin is a user or whether Manish is a user or any other person is a user, because this is a generic account. Or suppose if this account is shared between more than one person, then it is called as a shared account. So it is not acceptable that you use the shared account as per the requirement. You cannot use a shared account. Why? What is the risk here? The risk here is what? Accountability. Now, whatever transactions which is being passed from this ID, who would be held accountable for the same? Correct? So that is why in order to do any changes, you need to use the individual user's account, not the generic or shared account. Otherwise, accountability would be concerned here. Okay. And whatever changes you are doing to the configuration, log needs to be there for those changes as well. And organization need to review those logs as well. Okay, guys. So basically in this video, we have just discussed some of the pointers which are very, very important when you are doing this particular review. I will make another video on the same topic where we will be discussing about the practical challenges. Okay, I will be showing you the example of SAP applications as well. Okay, and this other points also we will be discussing in our next topic. In our today's video, let me show you how Tally Prime have done the changes in order to comply with Rule 11G. So now in the new version of Tally Prime, which is Tally Prime Edit Log, you can keep the track of activities, whatever transactions you have passed, whatever masters which are there in the Tally Ledger stock items. So whatever changes you are doing in this, all those changes will be recorded. And as I told you, nobody can disable the log. Okay, because that is a prime requirement of Rule 11G. So Tally have added a feature where user cannot disable the log. I will show you how you can view the edit log for the transaction. Suppose if you want to see whether some transactions have been modified or edited by the user, then how as an user we can see this. So now in order to check this, you need to go to the day book. Okay, in the day book, you can see other ledger voucher report. Now how you can open the day book? So in order to open a day book, you need to press Alt plus G. Once you press Alt plus G, then press Control plus B, which is a basis for value. Okay, once you click on that, you can click on show report for all voucher, altered or non-altered. So here you can select whether you want to see the vouchers which are being altered, which are being edited. Okay, so altered voucher you can see, then you can select whether you want to see all voucher or some specific voucher. Even in the Tally now you can see the deleted vouchers as well. Suppose somebody have created a voucher and then they have deleted the voucher, so that also we can verify in the edit log. And this is how it will show you all the entry. Then you can open any entry. After opening the entry, you need to press Alt plus Q, and then you can see when the transactions was altered along with the date and time and along with the username. So this was the requirement, correct guys? Who have done the changes, what changes are done along with the date and time. So the everything is getting captured here. And you can see the description of changes as well. For example, here, whatever highlighted in a red, so that is the change which is being made. Okay. So along with the date and time, and the changes details are appropriately captured in the Tally Prime edit log. Similarly, you can verify the edit log for the master. Suppose if somebody have done changes in the ledger group or stock item, so that also you can verify. Again, you need to click Alt plus G. Okay, this will open the chart of accounts. Then in the chart of accounts, you can select the masters. For example, we are checking here for the ledger. So ledger will open, then you need to press Control plus V, which is a basis of value. Then you need to see the report for all the ledgers where the alterations are made, and then it will show you the alterations like this only. Okay, that who have done the changes. Okay, so again, the entire details will be captured along with the date and time, username, and what activity, what transactions they have changed. Similarly, you can view the activity related to edit log. So basically in this, you can verify when company have adopted this new version. So you need to click here on the company, then edit log. Once you click here, you can see all the activity. For example, when they have migration, that when they have done migration of data, when they have imported any master or any other details at a company level, you can verify this particular things here. So guys, in this video, I just explain you about Rule 11G, what is their implication and how Tele software have adopted the same. Now, if you have any query in it or any doubt, do let me know in the comment section so that I can address those queries, those doubts in my next video. Similarly, guys, if you like the video, please share with all other friends who are also confused that what to do, how to do, and how to verify the compliance of Rule 11G. And please like the video and don't forget to subscribe my channel for more such videos. So that is all from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care. Thank you.